In this short lecture, I want to provide the basic concepts you need to know right now about MLA Works Cited and in-text citations. The Works Cited page is part of your paper. It will begin on the page following the last page of your text and should be page numbered appropriately. Just like the rest of your paper, everything is double-spaced evenly. The title, Works Cited, is centered at the top. Each entry is formatted in hanging indent, where the first line is on the left margin, and all subsequent lines are indented 1/2 inch. The list is alphabetized by whatever comes first in each entry. This is usually the author's last name, but it will be the title of the work when there is no author. The reason for hanging indent is this makes the alphabetized list easy to read. MLA guidelines for creating citations focus on 9 elements to be included in the citation and the order in which they should appear. These elements may be a little different for different kinds of sources, and you will not find all these elements for every source. So you'll need to include only the elements that exist for the source, or only those considered relevant or significant for the kind of source you are citing. Keep in mind the purpose of the Works Cited list is to communicate to your readers how they may find the sources you refer to in your essay. You may read more about each of the elements and how they are formatted and reported in Citations on my MLA Works Cited handout on D2L or the Purdue OWL website. You may also find models for citing different sources on the Purdue OWL website, or in the Handbook section of Writing Guide with Handbook. For example, you can find models for citing a web page or a short work on a website on the Purdue OWL MLA Works Cited Electronic Sources page, or models 46 to 48 in the MLA section of Writing Guide with Handbook. Let's look at some examples, beginning with Maria Popova's Fixed versus Growth, the 2 basic mindsets that shape our lives. While I've republished this and other articles on D2L, you will need to cite the actual online or print version of the article. We begin with the author's name, starting with the last name because that is what will be alphabetized on the Works Cited page. Next is the title of the source, in this case the title of her blog post. Titles of short works will appear in quotation marks. The container is the larger publication in which the work appears, in this case the title of her blog. Note that some sources, such as a novel, are self-contained. You would cite the title of a self-contained source only once. Container titles will be italicized. Other contributors would be someone who made a significant contribution to the text and would need to be recognized, such as a book editor, an illustrator, or someone who wrote an introduction. As there are no such contributors for this blog post, we leave this blank. If there is a specific version of the source, such as a specific edition of a book, this would be noted next. As there's no version number for this source, we again leave this blank. As neither the blog nor the blog post is part of a numbered series, we leave this blank as well. The publisher or sponsor would be an organization that produces or funds the source. As Popova's blog is self-published, we may leave this blank. The publication date is when the source was published, in this case when she posted this. However, as she does not provide a date for this blog post, we will leave this blank as well. Finally, the location for an online source, where it may be found, is the web address or URL. For web sources, you may also provide the date you accessed the source, in case the information on the page has changed or been updated after you viewed or used the source. These elements may be put together in order into the citation that appears on the Works Cited page. Studying 101, Study Smarter, Not Harder, is produced by the Learning Center at UNC Chapel Hill, but technically it doesn't have a listed author, so we leave this blank and start with the title of the article. Then, the title of the website, the publisher or sponsor, the web address or URL, and the access date. For the chapter from McGuire's book, there are technically two authors, so we list both the names, but only the first is inverted. Then comes the title of the chapter, title of the book, the publisher, the date the book was published, and the pages in the book where the chapter may be found. In-text citations let your readers know what source you are referring to and where in the source the material may be found. You will need to use an in-text or parenthetical citation whenever you quote, paraphrase, or summarize a passage from the source. In-text citations make a reference to the source on the Works Cited page, pointing readers to the publication information for the source. And you will also need to include the page numbers where the quote or paraphrase may be found in the source. If there are no page numbers, such as for HTML documents, you may leave this blank or use the writer's last name in the parenthetical citation. Thus, in the text of your essay, you will need to refer to the author's last name, or, if there is no author, to the title of the work. If you mention the author's name and/or the title of the source in a signal phrase or paraphrase, then you just need to cite the page number in parentheses after the quote or paraphrase. Or if you do not mention the author's name or source title in your writing, then include it in the parenthetical citation. As readers know the author's last name or the source title, if there is no author, they may then find the work in the alphabetical Works Cited list and gather all the publication information. We will discuss citing sources at other times throughout the semester, and hopefully this is enough to get you through Major Writing Assignment 1.